and girls, it's Mr. Giamini coming to you with a couple examples from the Topic 4 online assessment. Instead of doing the whole assessment in one video, I'm going to try to chunk it up a little bit better this time. That might help in your preparation for the assessment. What I've also done is you'll notice at the top of each slide, I have put the actual lesson number that lesson is, or that question is from. This way, as you're going through your notes, you're looking at the video, you can pause the video, which you should always do to try to solve it before I do. But now you can pause the video, actually go back to that lesson in an attempt to better understand what skill that is if you're unsure. Well, let's take a look. Drag tiles to match each equation with its solution. Tiles may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Okay, verb here is drag. What am I dragging? Tiles to match each equation with its solution. Tiles may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Well, let's take a look. We're given x could equal 4, x could equal 9, or x could equal 7. We're given the equations. Now the solution would be one of these tiles. First one, it says x plus 3 1/8 equals 7 1/8. First thing I notice is the 1/8 stay the same. So really I'm saying, hey, what plus 3, what add in plus 3 gives me 7? I'm pretty certain that 4 plus 3 is 7, and then the 1/8, so I know the first one is x is equal to 4. You notice I didn't do a lot of math there, did a lot of mental stuff, not much paper pencil. The next one, it says x divided by 2 is equal to 4.5. X divided by 2 equals 4.5. Well, if I were to substitute in 4 here, 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. That's not right. If I substitute in a 9, well, let's take a look. 9 is the dividend divided by 2, which is the divisor. Recall, I should place a decimal to the right of the 9 and then place as many zeros as I'd like. I'll extend this line, this division bar out. What factor times 2 gives me close to 9? Well, it is 4. 4 times 2 gives me a product of 8. I subtract. I have a difference of 1. Annex down that 0. 2 times what factor gives me 10? Well, it's 2 times 5. Hey, we need 4.5. So now I know that this will have to be x is equal to 9, because half of 9 is 4.5. Let's take a look at the next one. We have something minus 2 1/4 equals 6 1/4. Well, if I put a 4 here, 4 minus 2 is 2. Automatically know that's not it. Substitute in the 7. 7 minus 2 gives me 5. That can't be it. So let's try 9. Now, we have 9 minus, and this reminds me of a couple of the calculation quizzes we've had. 9 minus 2 1/4. Notice I have no fraction here. I have a mixed number down here. I have a whole number here. I want to rename this 9, and I'm going to rename it so that it has the same denominator as the bottom one. But I don't want it to have a value less than 9, because it's still 9. What I can do is 8, and because we're dealing with fourths, in one whole, there are 4 fourths. So we have essentially the 8 plus the 4 fourths, which is still 9. These are still equivalent. And now we subtract 2 and 1/4. Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. The denominators are the same already. 8 minus 2 is 6. Hey, we have an answer. This should give me that x is also equal to 9. Now the last one, something minus 3 2/3 is 77 hundredths. If I thought about this, I had some money. I spent $3.23. I now have 70 cents left. Obviously, it can't be 9 because I have roughly $6 left. It can't be 7 because I have roughly about $4 left. It has to be x is equal to 4. So I did not use the tile for 7, but that's okay because it said I may not use one of them at all. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The Martin's van can hold up to 8 passengers. Debbie writes the inequality P is less than 8, where P is the number of passengers that can fit in the van. Choose the best explanation for Debbie's error. Okay, well, first thing, they've already told me that Debbie made a mistake. Debbie writes the inequality P is less than 8. It says the Martin's van can hold up to 8 passengers. My first thought is that P could equal 8, but it doesn't have to hold exactly 8. So that means P is going to be less than or equal to 8. The most passengers it can hold is 8, but it can also hold fewer than it. You could hold 6, 7, 1, 2, etc. Let's take a look at the mistake that Debbie possibly made. Debbie should have used P times 8 because 8 passengers can fit in the car. We're not multiplying P times 8. We're not going to go, hey, passengers times 8. That doesn't make sense. We can end up with 24 passengers. Debbie should have switched the inequality symbol to greater than. That would have been looking something like this. The amount of people a van can hold is greater than 8, but it says here it can hold up to 8. That means it can't hold over it. Debbie should have switched the inequality symbol to include 8 as a possible answer choice. So she should have switched the inequality symbol. She should have switched it and made it this. So that says P is greater than or equal to 8. That means it could hold more than 8 or also 8. Debbie should have not used the equal sign to compare the two sides of the inequality. Let's see here. Debbie should have not used equal signs. Well, she did not use equal signs. We can't do that. Let's go back to this one. Debbie should have switched the inequality symbol to include 8 as a Okay, now, going back to this. Tricky one here. When it says switch the inequality symbol, I automatically think they should flip it. But they're saying, hey, to include this. So really, my thought here is they could have worded this better. Say, hey, Debbie should not flip the inequality symbol or switched it. She just put the equal sign underneath. So C is the correct answer choice. Select the correct inequality. Well, I actually wrote that above. It should be P is less than or equal to 8. P is less than or equal to 8. All right, let's go on to the next slide here. Which graph represents the solutions of the inequality Z is less than or equal to 7? First thing I noticed, because it's equal to, less than or equal to, that means the 7 is included in the solution set, meaning the circle should be filled in. Circle's open, that means 7's not part of the solution set. That's incorrect because here it says equal to, so it could be 7. This is going greater than. It can't be that. This too is going greater than. It can't be that. This is the correct answer. Z is less than or equal to. I'm focusing on this circle here. It's filled in, which I like to see. That tells me that 7 is part of the solution set, and every value less than 7 also. So the correct answer here would be B. We'll do one more. Choose all of the equations that are true if y equals 6. Well, let's take a look here. 52 and 3/7 minus 46 and 37/100. That gives me 0. 52 minus 46 gives me 6. Hey, this is true. The next one, we have 4/5 of 6 is equal to 4 and 45/100. Well, we could just do this. Hey, 4/5 times, we know that y is equal to 6 now. Let's see if that equals 4 and 4/5. First thing I would do, here's a little cross reduction. That gives me 1. 4 over 1 gives me 4. 4 does not equal 4 and 4/5. This does not work. The next one, we substitute in a 6 for the y. Well, this just says, hey, 8 times 6 should hopefully equal 48. 8 times 6 does equal 48. 48 equals 48. That's a check. So we know that C works if we have y as being equal to 6. It makes that equation true. 3 and 2/10 plus y equals 9. Well, we're going to substitute in simply 3 and 2/10. We'll substitute in a 6, so plus 6. We'll add the 0 here to hold that place value in the tens place. 2 plus 0 is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 does not equal, or 9 and 2/10, excuse me, does not equal 9. This doesn't work. The last one, we have 6 divided by 4. 6 divided by 4 equals 24. Well, 6 divided by 4 does not give me 24. So the only two answers that are correct are A and C. And again, if I go back to the direction that says choose all the equations, well, there's a key word that's it's plural. We know that we have more than one answer set does fit that, and everything else does not work. Oh, you know what? I just realized I messed up. Look at that. That is 4/5 times 6 over 1. Ooh, let's take a look. We might have another answer. Equals 4 and 4/5. We cannot do any cross reduction here, so we have 4 times 6, which is 24, over 5. We hope that equals 4 and 4/5. 5 goes into 24 4 times with 4 left over. Hey, look, we found another one. Always nice to kind of go back and check my work to make sure that, you know what, just because I have an answer doesn't mean it's always right. Okay, hope this helps you out. I will break up some more of the questions later on. Take care.